Welcome to a guide of another one of my favorite events, Shell Story. So, most people might say that this event is filled with randomness and RNG, but that is nothing a little strategy can't solve. Despite this event looking rather simple, there's actually a lot of things you can do to optimize and maximize your choices. So let's dive straight into the live demo. Yesterday I already did one round, but it wasn't very eventful. And yeah, I was also pretty unlucky to have 0 Revelation Wish Orbs at the end of the first day. Either way, for this event, there are 2 main goals. The 2 main goals that you must focus on and keep your eye on forever and ever. First one is to gain as many Revelation Wish Orbs as you can. As you can see, there are 7 blanks for 7 Revelation Wish Orbs. However, you can gain extra orbs to enhance your final grand prize rewards. So, in other words, collect as many as you can, even beyond the 7th one. The second main goal is to maximize the other rewards, such as the Shell Story medals, the summons, the gems, or anything really that is on the board over here. You can see you can use the Shell Story medals to buy a lot of juicy things like reconfiguration chips, which is quite rare, stability. You also have evolution letters, shadow prints, etc. Very neat things. So now that we have the 2 main goals out of the way, let us try to meet those goals. On the first day, you only have one choice, the random dice, and that's because you have 0 oracle dice, so you basically have no choice but to just press the button. So hopefully we'll get something good here. And I finally got my first Revelation Wish Orb, so yay. And we landed on the ×3, which is quite nice, some Hydra crystals. And right now, there's nothing much else I can do except just keep pressing. Okay, now for this interesting event here, you can actually gain quite a few good things from this. If I'm not wrong, if you have I once maxed out the rarity for this and I got 5 perfect letter shards, but obviously we're not lucky every time, right? Yo! Oh, okay. Okay, this is an outstanding one, not bad. So you get a few rewards, so that's always nice. Now I just have no choice but to keep pressing and pressing the button until I get an Oracle dice, and that is when we can, or that happens. So, case in point here, for the Teacher Hour event, which is this current event, the best option here would be to press -4, which hopefully I'll get, because you can actually walk backwards 4 steps and give it a moment. You can walk backwards 4 steps and enter the forked path, which is a rare path that you can get a free Revelation Wish Orb over here from. I can't zoom in. Okay. So nothing else I can do except to just press the button. Honestly, it's kind of unlucky that I've not gotten any Oracle dice yet, because Oracle dice are really important to... Ooh, okay, now that was lucky. I get a free Revelation Wish Orb to the collection, and that is 2. So usually I would, if I have an Oracle die, I would actually use it to guarantee myself the Revelation Wish Orb. And yeah, because it is worth it, because that is our goal anyways, to get as many Revelation Wish Orbs as possible. Unfortunately, I still do not have any Oracle dice, and I probably won't get any today. And the magnet also sucks a few of the nearby rewards, so that is always nice. And then go again, once again with this. So, okay, this is basically the rarest rarity that you can get. And hopefully it's perfect letter shards. Well, it's not, but actually it's even better because we get a Wish Orb and some packs. Okay, this one is purely luck. Usually we will not be so lucky to get that. And unfortunately, I ended up at the exact same place I started off today. We didn't get any Oracle dice, but if we were to get Oracle dice, there are many things you can do. Firstly, we can guarantee ourselves to go into the forked paths, or we can guarantee ourselves, actually, the better way is to guarantee ourselves to land on this teacher's hour pedometer, so that we can do the -4 and go back into the forked path. That is because we don't want to go into the forked path directly, because we want to use our normal dice to try to get more Oracle dice. So as you can see, there's the Oracle dice in between the fog path and the teacher owl. So we always want a chance to try to get as many oracle dice as possible. And yeah, so we try to use normal energy dice until we get to the point where we have a risk of overshooting the teacher owl. So it'll be something like, we count backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, once we are on the ×3 tile, anything beyond that we risk overshooting the teacher's owl. And then if we are basically beyond the ×3 tile over here, that is where we use our oracle dice and just guarantee the teacher's owl. Because if we overshoot the teacher's owl, it's kind of a waste, and we won't get a chance for a revelation wish orb in the middle over here in the shortcut path. Well, so let us continue again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get an oracle die so I can showcase the optimal use for it. Okay, day 3 of Shell Story. Hopefully we can get oracle dice this time so we have more control over what we actually do rather than just pressing the random dice button. That's right, we finally have our 4th revelation wish orb. It's nice. We passed the oracle dice by a little bit, unfortunately. So to recap once again on the 2 main goals, is to get as many revelation wish orbs as possible, so as maximize the other rewards. And teacher owl will be nice here, I guess not. Please, 4. No, 5. Okay, seems like I'm not getting oracle dice again, but that's actually a pretty quick cycle. Never mind, I just gotta... Ooh. Okay, that is nice. Alright, so now to continue a little bit more on the strategy. If you're actually on the shortcut path, you might not always want to use an oracle die to go into the shortcut path because you do not exactly have unlimited oracle dice. So one indicator in which you can use to make sure it's worth it or not to go into the path is that if you have 2 oracle dice, one to use to get into the path itself and one to guarantee the revelation wish orb. And added bonus, if you actually have the artisan, okay, why can't I type that? Basically the artisan, which is behind me right now, it actually boosts you forward 6 spaces, and it also collects all the rewards along the way. So as you can see, the revelation wish orb is actually along the way of the artisan boost. So if I were to land on the artisan, I would basically just get boosted 6 spots. There we go. Boosted 6 spots, and you collect the revelation wish orb as well. And we also get an extra oracle dice, which is pretty insane. So if I had oracle dice, I would have just gone for the fogged path junction, and I would, be happy. And finally, we have our very first oracle dice. Now here I have 2 options. I can use the oracle dice to move 2 steps so that I can get a revelation wish orb. But then I'll be left with no oracle dice, and I'll be left with no control. So the main tip for today, which finally I get an oracle dice, I can explain it, is that if you do get 1 oracle dice, try to hold on to at least one of them. Try not to make yourself have 0 oracle dice, because if you have 0, you have no control over anything. So now that I have 1 oracle dice, I can do a lot of things and have a lot of control. So firstly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Firstly, if I actually do 5, I would step all the way to the next oracle die, but I miss being able to have a chance to get the revelation wish orb over here. So it's really a matter of questioning yourself whether you want to skip 5 steps by using the oracle die to get another oracle die, using the 5 steps in this current situation, or would you just want to get, guarantee a revelation wish orb, or would you just use a random die to try for a chance to get a revelation wish orb? So 3 things here: chance of revelation wish orb using normal die, guaranteed revelation wish orb with the +2 steps, but honestly that's not worth it because then I have 0 oracle die and no more control. Or the third option of going for 5 to skip 5 steps. Now, if the reason why you want to skip 5 steps is to actually move as many steps as possible to try to cycle faster to pass go so that you can get wish orbs and shell medals. So for here, I think I would just try to have a chance for the revelation wish orb. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. But that's actually fine because I walked 6 steps, which is a good cycle. And with that, I have run out of energy dice for the day yet again. So hopefully tomorrow we can continue and I'll show you the power of owning Oracle dice. Day 4 of Shell Story, which is arguably the most important day of the previous 3 days because now we finally have Oracle dice to have control over what we do instead of just spamming our energy dice. So let's continue spamming our energy dice because there's nothing much you can do with the Oracle dice at the present moment. Do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see, the next Oracle die is out of range, meaning it is 7 tiles or more away. So even if our Oracle dice, our maximum is 6, so we cannot use our Oracle die to travel to the next Oracle die to get the Oracle die. So effectively, we will still have one Oracle die, but we just travel free distance. Okay, now we are in range of the next Oracle die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay, let me double confirm that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. So we can actually do this very neat little trick here, which is honestly the main trick of Shell Story here, is to use the Oracle dice to get the Oracle dice. There we go. Now we still have one Oracle die left and we basically effectively traveled a free distance of 5 and we've got our 5th Revelation Wish Orb by traveling, another round through the board. So let's continue our way here. Okay, 6 is always nice because we travel a lot of distance. Now here I technically have 2 options. I could go enter the fog path using the Oracle die, but that would mean I'm relinquishing control of my moves here. And well, there are 2 chances for Oracle dice if I go the long way round. So here's the decision making process. I will have a chance of getting more Oracle dice if I go to the long way round, so I shall go to the long way round. But if I so happen to go through the shortcut, then well, I guess I'm lucky. But in this case there's also no artisan, so it's basically have a lower chance of getting the Revelation Wish Orb as well, because I will no longer have any Oracle dice if I were to go to the fog path guaranteed using the Oracle die. And there we go, we got the second Oracle die, means we actually have a lot more power now. And here is another dilemma that we have. Remember our 2 main goals, which is to get as many Revelation Wish Orbs as possible, which is also means cycling through the board as many times as possible. Our next goal, however, would be to get as many of the other rewards as possible. But in this case, we will be focusing a little bit more on the Revelation Wish Orbs. Now, there are 2 options I can do here. I could just guarantee 1, 2, 3, a movement of 3 using the Oracle dice to get to the next Oracle die tile and basically travel a free distance of 3. The problem is I'll be sacrificing the chance. You see, this is the crux of the matter here. I'll be sacrificing the chance to get that particular Oracle die, because if I were to use a normal die and roll 3, I would get the Oracle die basically for free. So in this case, it's the matter between traveling a free distance of 3 or getting an Oracle die. Now, technically, each normal die that you throw will have an average distance of 3 because one is the most common one is actually. Actually, if you were to calculate it out, it's probably something like 3.5 because you take 1 plus 6 and then average out, it would be 3.5. So in this case, it's really up to you whether you want to travel at free 3 distance or have a chance of getting the Oracle die. For me, I like gambling, so hopefully I get. Nope, I do not get it. But hey, I traveled a distance of 4, which is honestly more than better than the chance of getting the Oracle die. And unfortunately, we aren't going to get many rewards today. But there's one thing about this game as well, is that you need to be patient and plan, to be sure to stockpile your Oracle dice properly so that you can use it when it matters. So tomorrow I'll probably use the 2 Oracle die to go to the fog path and guarantee myself the Revelation Wish Orb. And especially so if there's an artisan there, because if there's an artisan, you should use the Oracle die to guarantee the land on it so you can just boost yourself forward and get the Oracle die, get this Oracle die, get the Revelation Wish Orb 2, and any path rewards along the path of the artisan boom. Well, let's just be patient and wait for tomorrow then. Day 5 of Shell Story, and we finally have the power of 2 Oracle dice. Let me show you what you can do with those 2 Oracle dice. It's honestly really, really broken and powerful. And now we can gain our, okay, maybe not. Now we can gain our 6th Revelation Wish Orb, which, okay, that's rather unfortunate. As you can see, it's quite unfortunate that our artisan is over here because 6 spaces will only reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The times 50 Shell Story medals over here, so it will not reach the Revelation Wish Orb, unfortunately. So at this point, it may not be very worth to go to the Forked Path junction. But I think I will take a gamble and see if the next day we get a better artisan placement. So here for the black market store, really it's up to you whether you want to buy the discounted items or not. But for me, I always like to buy them because they're discounted and always good to okay. And decent rewards. So here I can either skip 1, 2, 3, skip some spaces, or I can just leave it to random chance. I'll just leave it to random chance for now. And the real question is, do I want to go to the Forked Path? And I think the answer would be yes, because it is reaching towards the end of the event and I may not find a good future use for the Oracle dice that I have, so I think it's time to just use them. Okay, so now I'm basically forced to use an Oracle die on the Teacher Owl to guarantee the Forked Path. 1, 2. And always aim for -4. There we go. And now I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can use the Oracle dice to skip the spaces. 5, guarantee myself that I will get the Revelation Wish Orb, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm still not within range, so I'll press one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 spaces. And there we go. We got 1 Revelation Wish Orb. And just nice, 7 out of 7. So at this point I can wish, but it is of course best to wait to collect as many orbs as you can, so only collect your rewards at the end of the last day when you finish using all of your dice. And okay, so 7 orbs completed on the 5th day. I would say it's average luck. And yeah, with that is basically a good use of the 2 Oracle dice, though of course it would be much more worth it if we can use the Artisan to boost ourselves. And yeah, that is pretty much it on how you can use the Oracle dice to skip distances as well as guarantee you the rewards. And now, have fun cashing out on the fruits of your labor. Have a great day ahead.